with Bob Richardson. This is Brian Nickel back at Eaton High School, where we're getting ready for the opening tip-off between the Weld Central Rebels and the Fort Morgan Mustangs in Game 3 of the tournament here, the North Colorado Roundball Classic. The Fort Morgan starting lineup is brought to you by Blodorn Lumber at blodornlumber.com. Browse the virtual showroom, view the current sales, complete a credit application, and shop the entire inventory online. Whether you're a contractor or painting your living room at Blodorn Lumber, you'll get the same friendly service and advice to make your job easier. Visit Blodorn Lumber in Fort Morgan at 130 State Street. The starting lineup for the Fort Morgan Mustangs, it is Tony Swetzig, Nate Kimball, Joey Schneider, Wes Anderson, and Eric Kimball. The opening tip is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance with 2 locations in Brush and Fort Morgan. Ingmeyer Phillips can help you with your home, car, health, or life insurance questions or needs. Tip is won by the Weld Central Rebels right into the face of one of the Weld Central players. They continue on with Weld Central just kind of working around the perimeter. Now they try to get it into the high post. And that's Jacob Maniscalco, 44. He was their high scorer the other night. Nice rebound there by Wes Anderson. Got in position. Now Eric Kimball with a layup up and in from the left side for Kimball for the first 2 points of the game. And the first Fort Morgan score of the game is brought to you by Morgan Federal Bank, a bank that is committed to their community and keeping banking simple. When you need banking advice, stop by and see one of their loan officers Monday through Friday at 321 Ensign. Morgan Federal Bank, there is a difference.
There's a nice turnover by the Weld Centrals. They couldn't get across half court in 10 seconds, so they turned it over to the Mustangs.
It's now Tate Kimball with the ball. Wes Anderson out high on the left side. Now to Tony Swetzig. Gets it into Wes Anderson on the left baseline. Back out to Eric Kimball. Eric Kimball drives the lane. Tries to get it into Wes Anderson, but he loses it off of his hand and out of bounds. So Fort Morgan now with full court pressure against the Weld Central Rebels. 6:52 to go. Fort Morgan leading 2-0. Weld Central gets the ball in court. Now they're trying to clear out. Brandon Blackston gets it across court. Picks up his dribble. Now it's going to go over to Chris Quinn. They're trying to get it inside the Maniscalco. So far, they've done a nice job shutting that down. Another shot up and good, and that is going to be by Dylan Galligan, number 34, for the first 2 points for the Weld Central Rebels. They need to get it straight on the clock. Who's is what? Because they've got 4 points up on the board. It should be 2-2. A shot from the left corner by Weld Central is no good. Rebounded to the Fort Morgan Mustangs. Shot up and no good, but fouled on the play is Tate Kimball. So they need to get the score there. They're going to get it straightened out now. So Tate Kimball to the line to shoot 2.
The foul was on Galligan for the Weld Central. They say they got him with a push.
So Tate Kimball. First shot up and good for Tate. Missed a couple of 1-and-1s last night at the line, but picks up this first one on the automatic 2 because he was fouled on the shot. Second one also good, so now it is 4-2 in favor of the Mustangs. 6:01 to go in the first period. Fort Morgan bringing the full court press again, and it worked this time as they forced a turnover. Alan Lang lost control, then stepped on the sideline in front of the Weld Central bench. So Joey Schneider to bring it in for the Mustangs. He'll get it in to Tate Kimball. Tate Kimball over to brother Eric. And now out to Joey Schneider, 3-point line. He gives it off to Wes Anderson, and they're going to say Anderson traveled.
Looked like he took that little hop before he decided he was going to take the drive to the basket.
So now Weld Central gets it in to Quinn. Quinn against T.J. Bauer. And that looked like a travel out there, but they didn't call it. Now Blackston gets it. They get it in. No, tried to get it into Maniscalco, but Eric Kimball stepped in front of that pass. Now they get it down to T.J. Bauer. Bauer for a 3 from the baseline, and that's good from the left baseline. Nice 3 there by Bauer. 7-2 in favor of the Fort Morgan Mustangs. Quinn. They call a double dribble, so another turnover. So the pressure by the Mustangs is working to their benefit right now. So Joey Schneider inbounds at far side. Gets it in to Tony Swetzik. Swetzik bounce passes it to Kimball. Kimball's going to have a lane drive to the lane, but it was knocked away.
He had a wide open drive right for an easy layup. Just kind of got knocked off.
I think Quinn knocked it out of his hand, and they say it was off of Weld Central. So Fort Morgan to inbounds the ball. Tony gets it into Eric Kimball. Eric Kimball from the right elbow shot up and off the back of the rim and no good. But rebounded by Schneider. They call a travel on the pass over to Kimball. I'm not seeing that one for sure, but
I don't know how you could travel when you're in the midair and just throw the ball like a hot potato and throw it right back out and never touch the ground. But I guess flying through the air is a travel nowadays.
So now Weld Central getting the ball up court, but there's going to be a push. That's going to go against Tony Swetzik. First foul against the Fort Morgan Mustangs. So we have one team foul apiece on the teams. They get the ball into Maniscalco. Now back to Blackston. Blackston tries to drive down the left side of the lane. He comes back out above the three-point line. Now over to Quinn. High right corner. Now they get it out to Lang. He comes back out to almost the mid-circle. Gets it over to Quinn. Back to Maniscalco. Now it's going to go inside to number 34, Dylan Galligan. He's going to be fouled on the shot, and the shot was good. So another 2 for Galligan, and he'll get to go to the line to shoot 1.
Yeah, they called the foul on Schneider. That's his first. That's 2 on the Mustangs. Schneider's sitting down on the bench, and Weimer's coming in for Schneider now.
I was trying to see the Galligan is a 6'6 junior. That shot is up and good for Galligan, so he has all 5 points so far for the Weld Central Rebels. Tony Swetzik gets across half court. Fort Morgan leading 7-5 with 4:35 to go. Henry Weimer left wide open underneath. So nice shot there by Weimer. For 2.
Perfect position under the basket, and then they saw it and got him a good, nice, little, easy shot for him.
Yeah, we have a 30-second timeout here called by Weld Central. So some of our sponsors sponsoring Fort Morgan basketball this year, State Farm Insurance. Let the State Farm Insurance office of Greg Mullen in Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life. Home, auto, life, health. State Farm Insurance is here for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call today, 842-4555. Premier Farm Credit is still the lender of choice for America's farmers and ranchers. They understand and are passionate about agriculture and are dedicated to serving America in good times and bad. Premier Farm Credit, the gold standard in ag lending.
We apologize if that buzzer's a little loud. I think it's attached to our mics here because it's, I think, right above our head here. So
now Weld Central with the ball in. It's going to be tried for a 3, no good, but he follows his own rebound. But that's also missed. Another rebound up and missed. This is Maniscalco. His shot is up and no good. Rebounded to Blackston this time and no good. Fighting, that should be an offensive foul. I don't know how when you jump into somebody, that should have been on Blackston, but they're going to call that on Fort Morgan. Did they give that to Anderson? I didn't see who that. Yes, they did. So Wes Anderson with foul number 1 on him. Blackston to the line to shoot 2 off the front of the rim and no good. So Blackston with a Go ahead.
Blackston's their second leading scorer with an average of 11.3 next to Maniscalco at 18.3. So
Blackston with shot number 2 coming up here, and that is going to be off the back of the rim and no good. Rebounded to Anderson this time. Gets it over to Tate Kimball. Tate Kimball gets it up past court. And he's getting ridden like a horse down the court, but no foul called. Eric Kimball shot off the back of the rim and no good. Nice tie-up there by Henry Weimer. So the jump ball goes to the Fort Morgan Mustangs, up 9-5 with 3:56 to go in the first period. T.J. Bauer to inbounds. Gets it into Wes Anderson. Anderson with a little left hook, but it's blocked by by Maniscalco. Now Maniscalco, they're going to call him for a travel. He's got a little attitude here. That might get him in trouble before the end of the game if he keeps that up. So now Wes Anderson to bring the ball in far into the court, gets it into Eric Kimball. Eric Kimball over to Tate Kimball. Gets it across half-court line. Now to T.J. Bauer out left high. Gets it back to Eric Kimball. And Wes Anderson for a three, but that is short. Rebounded to Weld Central. Then Henry Weimer is going to be called for a foul in the backcourt. So that'll be Weimer's first. 4 team fouls so far on the Fort Morgan Mustangs. Only one so far on the Weld Central Rebels.
Mustangs need to just kind of calm down, settle down, start selecting their shots, and stop not falling into their game.
Play some cool-headed basketball here. Don't get in trouble there. Maniscalco out high. 3-point line. Gives it off now to Lang. Lang back to Blackston. Blackston drives down the lane. Tries to go up with it. They're going to call Eric Kimball, I believe. We'll see who they put that foul on.
Looks like they're going to give it to Kimball.
Yes, it is on Eric Kimball, so that's his first. So Blackston to go to the line again. Blackston's game here looks like he just tries to drive the lane and picks up the fouls. So Blackston's shot this time is also no good, but he's 0 for 3 from the 3-point line. Joy Schneider and Tola Walio come in to the game for the Mustangs. Wes Anderson and Eric Kimball take a seat right now. So shot number 2 coming up for Blackston, and his shot is also no good. Nice rebound there by Henry Weimer. Gets it to Tate Kimball. Down court to T.J. Bauer, and they're going to call Bauer for a walk. Apparently you can't fake in this game and not get called for a walk. So 3:02 to go in the first quarter. Fort Morgan leads 9-5.
He faked the walk out of the ref. That's what it was.
I guess that's what it is. So Keaton Pippin now 24. Gets it over to Galligan out high at 3-point circle. Gets it to Maniscalco at the left high post. He drives down the lane. Nice layup by Maniscalco for his first 2 points. Now 9-7 in favor of the Fort Morgan Mustangs. 2:35 to go. And that was a bad pass by Tate Kimball, but taken by Joey Schneider. Schneider to T.J. Bauer. Back out to Schneider to Tola. Tola back over to TJ. TJ drives it down the left baseline. Up and shot is no good. Rebounded by Maniscalco. Now back out to Pippin. Pippin gets it across half-court line with TJ Bauer defending on him. Gets it to Galligan. Now it's going to go to Blackston at the free throw line. He drives it down the lane. His shot up and no good. Oh, they're going to call Joey Schneider on the foul.
Wow, it looked like Joey Schneider had position on him.
So Schneider with his second. He ended up fouling out last night.
They're calling him over the back. I don't know how you can be over the back when you're side to side.
So now Eric Kimball, Wes Anderson, and Tony Swetzik back into the game for the Mustangs. Weld Central with the ball about 5 feet up from the 3-point circle. Now over to Blackston out on the right wing. He drives it down the left baseline, pulls up his dribble. Now over to Maniscalco for a 3, and his shot is up and no good. Rebounded to Wes Anderson. Nice position, and there's going to be a foul on Pippin. And that is going to be his first, only the second team foul on Weld Central so far in this game. It looks like Fort Morgan is going to call a 30-second timeout. This Fort Morgan timeout is brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Ehrlich Toyota East at 1209 Main Street in Fort Morgan will professionally fit you into the car or truck of your choice. Serving all of Northeast Colorado, Ehrlich Toyota East.
Yeah, the Mustangs need to calm down. I mean, they're just they're getting out rebounded right now, 7-4, and the turnovers they're up by 1, 5-4. So they just need to calm down, give their mindset into this game, and the shots will start flowing.
Yeah, they just need to run their offense. Don't get into don't get all upset because when you get the foul called on you, because then you start not playing your game that you need to. So we'll see if Weld Central, they're not going to pick up Tate Kimball about half court line. Now back out to Tony Swetzik. Swetzik gets it over to Tate, now to Tola, left corner. Wes Anderson gets it into Eric Kimball. Eric Kimball with a nice little shot, but is going to be short. Rebounded by Galligan. Galligan gets it to, nice interception there by, Tola saved the ball, but he saved it right to Maniscalco for two. One thing you're not supposed to do is save the ball under the other opponent's basket, because that kind of a thing right there will happen. So now Swetzik for a three. His shot is up and good for Tony Swetzik.
A beautiful shot, broke the tie.
Continues his hot streak at the three-point line. 55 seconds to go in the first period. Fort Morgan up now 12-9. This is going to be Galligan. And they've stopped the whistle for stop play for something. Called something in the middle of the lane for City was a push. Deputy City stepped in front of somebody, I guess, away from the ball. So that's two on Anderson. T.J. Bauer comes in. They're already at 7 team fouls, so that's going to be a 1-and-1 for the Weld Central Rebels.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird call because no, he didn't touch anybody, just stepped in front of somebody, and I don't know how you get a push out of that.
So we have, trying to see who we have at the line. Shot up and no good, rebounded Eric Kimball. I believe that was Arnouche that missed that. So Tate Kimball with the ball. He needs to do something to get out of the lane. Turnover, another turnover by the Mustangs. These guys try to make a little fake, and the refs are saying they're dragging their foot. Now Coach Unrein's going to have a little talk there. Refs are saying that they're jumping before they take off with that dribble. So Fort Morgan is still up 12-9 with 30 seconds to go in the first period. Ball to Blackston, guarded by Tate Kimball. Now over to Maniscalco. Left high post. He dribbles it out. Now over to Lang. Lang back to Maniscalco. Over to Arnouche. Arnouche being double teamed. Now they're going to get it over in the corner. Number 12. That shot up and no good. Rebounded to Eric Kimball. Tony Swetzik. Now to Tola. They're going to call Tola for another travel. With 9/10 of a second left in the first period, Fort Morgan leading 12-9.
The turnovers are just killing them here in the first period. The little steps are taken.
So Blackston with it, long shot up and no good. So at the end of the first period, the Fort Morgan Mustangs lead Weld Central Rebels 12-9 on B106 and B106.com. Okay, back at Eaton High School, Fort Morgan Mustangs and Weld Central Rebels, where the Fort Morgan Mustangs lead 12-9 at the start of the second period. Coach Unrein still getting an explanation on that foul on Wes Anderson a couple of minutes ago. Acted like he said he was throwing an elbow or something, but now taken by Tate Kimball. Nice interception there by Kimball. Tony Swetzik. We're going to call it jump ball, so that'll be ball to Fort Morgan. It's a nice hustle on the floor over there by Tony Swetzik to get a tie-up. So we have Tony Swetzik, Tate Kimball, Henry Weimer, Eric Kimball, and T.J. Bauer. Gets the ball into Bauer. T.J. gets it over to Eric. Way out above the three-point line. Tony Swetzik over to Tate Kimball, now to Eric Kimball down on the right baseline. Eric Kimball's going to take it inside and ends up losing control, but gets T.J. Bauer. It's kind of helter-skelter on the part of the Weld Central Rebels, and they're kind of getting away with it right now.
Yeah, I just noticed they're body checking pretty hard, and the refs aren't calling body checks, I guess, today.
Just walks.
Just the walks.
So now to Eric Kimball to Tony Swetzik. Tony Swetzik over to TJ Bauer. Bauer to Henry Weimer to back out to TJ, over to Tate, way high. Eric Kimball, Tony Swetzik. Swetzik for a deep three off the rim and no good, but rebounded initially by Tate Kimball, but taken away, and now it's going to be Arnouche down the lane. Now to Maniscalco. Now Blackston trying to go down the right baseline. Nice defense there by the Mustangs, but rebounded by Arnouche. Now it's going to be tried to save by Arnouche, and why that's not a foul, I do not understand. Blackston reaches around, knocks Kimball down. Now they call a foul on the layup.
The refs need to take control of this game. They're starting to slowly but surely lose the game here.
Now they're discussing under the basket. I don't know if they're trying to decide who to call a foul on. But you can take a look at the board. 17 fouls for Fort Morgan, 2 for Weld Central. That's going to be on Eric Kimball. That'll be his second. I'm not sure. These may be farmers from the Weld Central area. I'm not sure reffing this game today. Now to the line goes, see, is that Arnouche again?
It's Pippin.
Pippin at the line. First shot up and good for Pippin. Now Joey Schneider in and Brian Almanza come in. Eric Kimball and Henry Weimer come out for the Mustangs. So Joey Schneider, Tate Kimball, Tony Swetzik, Brian Almanza, and TJ Bauer into the game for the Fort Morgan Mustangs. Still leading 12-10 with 6:37 to go in the second period. So Pippin's shot is up and good, nothing but net. So his first 2 points of the game. Now Tate Kimball with the ball, gets it across half court. Dribbles, stops at the top of the lane, gives it off to Tony Swetzik. Swetzik to Almanza. Almanza to Tate Kimball to Tony Swetzik on the left wing. Now it's going to be down to Brian Almanza. Now underneath to Joey Schneider, wide open. And Almanza finds him under there. So 14-11 now in favor of the Mustangs. Weld Central lost sight of Joey Schneider there. Got his 2 points under the basket. So now Blackston gets it back out to number 4. Oh, bank shot in for a 3 by Quinn. So now it's 14-14 in favor. 14-14, excuse me, all tied up here with 5:44 to go in the second period. Now they're going to call a foul on the drive by TJ Bauer. I believe that was on number 24, Pippin. That's going to be 2 on him. Third team foul. They get it into Joey Schneider, now to Almanza. Back to Tony Swetzik in the corner for a 3 and in and out. But fought for, and let's see who finally gets it. It's going to be out of bounds, I believe. Finally, back to the Fort Morgan Mustangs. There was about 3 or 4 different chances there.
Nobody seemed to want possession of the basketball. It just bounced around on the floor.
So Fort Morgan gets the ball in. Joey Schneider. Swetzik to Almanza. Almanza back to Swetzik, over to Tate Kimball on the left wing. 5:17 to go. Pass over to Almanza. Swetzik to Tate Kimball, just kind of passing around the perimeter. Into Joey Schneider, back to Almanza. Now into Joey Schneider at the high post. TJ Bauer for a 3. Nice 3 from the right corner. So 6 points on the night for Bauer. 2 threes. Puts the Mustangs up 17-14. Weld Central gets the ball across half court, and that's Alan Lang. Lang over to Galligan. Galligan now to Blackston. And that should have been a walk, and is called a walk.
His body started to go before his feet started to go.
He slipped out and then put the ball on the floor, so turnover by Weld Central. Fort Morgan inbounds the ball in the back court. Tate Kimball gets the ball up court, gets it to Joey Schneider. Schneider to Almanza. Almanza dribbles, tries to go down the lane, gets it under Joey Schneider. Joey Schneider comes down the left side of the lane. Beautiful play there. And Schneider gets the easy bucket. Now 19-14 is the Mustangs. Now Lang loses the pass into Galligan, and he loses the ball. T.J. Bauer brings it down court. Now over to Almanza. He drives it down the lane and is fouled on the shot. And that is going to be on number 4 on Quinn, or the first his first foul, but number 4. So Almanza to go to the line to shoot 2.
That's a nice drive by Almanza.
So first shot up and off the front of the rim and no good. Ackley Building Center, your one-stop center for home improvement projects. Ackley Building Center, located at 1402 Mill Street in Brush, is your one-stop shop for flooring, paint, tools, appliances, and more. Shot number 2 for Brian Almanza. Up and off the front of the rim again. Rebounded to the Weld Central Rebels. Fort Morgan still up 19-14 with 3:55 to go in the second period. Trying to get the ball into Galligan. Galligan goes up for the shot, and he is fouled. They're going to call that on T.J. Bauer, so that is his first. So Galligan will go to the line to shoot 2. His first shot up and no good off the back of the rim. Valley View Villa, look to the team at Aspen Rehabilitation inside Valley View Villa for your sports rehab, short-term or long-term care needs. Stop by 815 Fremont or call them today, 867-8261. Shot number 2 in and out, so he misses his 2. Fort Morgan with the rebound. Tony Swetzik to Brian Almanza. Almanza out high, now gets it over to T.J. Bauer. Right wing, back to Tony Swetzik. Swetzik to Almanza, gets it into Joey Schneider, then back to Almanza. Tate Kimball, they'll try and drive it down the lane. And they're going to give him the basket in a blocking foul. On Quinn, I believe is who that is on. So, Tate Kimball with his first basket of the game. Free throw off the back of the rim and no good. Rebounded to Weld Central. Quinn brings it up court, gets across half court. Well, he was dragging his foot, but they don't call that, I guess. So 21-14 in favor of the Mustangs. Now to Quinn. Quinn drives it down the lane. His shot is up and good for Quinn. 5 points on the afternoon for Quinn. 21-16 in favor of Fort Morgan. Now take Kimball to Tony Swetzik. Swetzik for a 3, and his 3 is good. So 2 threes on the afternoon here for Tony Swetzik. 24-16, 8-point lead here for the Mustangs with 2:42 to go in the second period. So now Quinn picks up his dribble, gets it to Arnouche. Arnouche over to Lang. High right wing. He tries to get it. He does get it in to Galligan. His shot up and no good. Rebounded to Joey Schneider. Now cross-court pass over to T.J. Bauer. Now Fort Morgan's going to there's going to be a foul now on Weld Central.
Looks like Galligan's going to pick up the second.
Yep. Reach in on the pass there to Joey Schneider. Caught his arm. So now Joey Schneider to inbounds from the far side. Gets it in to take Kimball. Kimball over to Almanza. Almanza to T.J. Bauer at the baseline. Back out to Tony Swetzik. Swetzik to Tate over to Almanza. Almanza drives it down the lane. And he kicks it back out to Swetzik with 1:58 to go in the first half. Almost a turnover. Nice little shot up and no good by Tate Kimball from the right baseline. Rebounded to the Weld Central Rebels. Arnouche has it now into Maniscalco, and his shot is up and no good. Rebounded to Brian Almanza. Now they're going to have a foul called, and that will go against Lang. That will be his first. So he will go, let's see, Brian Almanza will now go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. Finally got into the bonus for the Mustangs. MMI International. Before your next mixer or feeder truck purchase, compare the MMI design, craftsmanship, and service. They continually outperform our competitors, hands down. Call them at 842-5161. So Almanza with his first shot up and no good. So he's missed 3 free throws tonight. So Weld Central with the ball. Blackston with it, guarded tightly by T.J. Bauer. Now they get it to Arnouche. Arnouche with a jump stop in the lane, up and good for Arnouche. So his first 2 of the night. 1:17 to go in the first half. Tate Kimball with a little jump shot block, but rebounded by Almanza with a little scoop from the right side. Now Almanza with his first bucket of the afternoon. Nice rebound there.
But right place at the right time.
Yep. Now they're going to call a foul on Tate Kimball, I believe.
Looked like Tate took a knee when he went up in the air right in the groin area, midsection.
And that will put Pippin at the line.
Oh, they called that on Tony Sweatzik, his second.
Okay, must have been a reach in there on Tony. So with 59.4 seconds to go, Tate now gets up. Oh, they kind of set him up. If he was hit in the right in the stomach, it looks like. He's up and going now. Stubbs Gas and Oil. If you're tired of the same old lunch and dinner menu, switch it up and pick up something new from the hot and cold deli selection at Stubbs Gas and Oil. Find great food at low prices at Stubbs Gas and Oil in Wiggins. So now we've got, I believe that's Pippin at the line to shoot 2. That's 10 team fouls on the Mustangs now. So to the line for 2, and his first shot is off the back of the rim and no good. So now Blatant Pollock comes in for Tony Sweatzik, so he doesn't get a cheap foul here in the end of the first half, because they'll need Tony for the rest of the game. Henry Weimer getting set to come in. Pippin with his next shot, he missed the whole rim. Didn't draw iron at all. So Joey Schneider to come out and Henry Weimer into the game for the Mustangs with 59 seconds left in the first half. And Nate Gertner also in for the Mustangs. Gertner over to Bauer. Bauer over to Pollitt. Pollitt back over to Gertner. 44 seconds to go. Back out to Tolawalio. So this is basically the second string in here for the Mustangs. They turned it over in the lane to Weld Central. Blackston now gets it across half court. Blackston picks up his dribble, gets it to Arnouche. Now they're going to get it underneath. Nice hands there by T.J. Bauer, but taken back again by the Weld Central Rebels. And basket layup by Blackston is good. So those are his first 2 points of the game. Henry Weimer now goes to the lane. He's going to go up for the shot, I believe. We're going to see. It's only 8 team fouls there. I don't know if they've said he was actually shooting or if it was going to be a pass.
They gave the foul to Maniscalco.
His first shot by Weimer is up and good. So 3 points so far on the afternoon for Weimer. So we have Tolawalio, Henry Weimer, Bladen Pollitt, T.J. Bauer, and Gertner into the game. Next shot also good for Weimer. Nice looking free throws there by Henry Weimer with 9.7 seconds to go. Arnouche with it up across half court. Now they're going to get it out to Pippin. Pippin to Maniscalco, and his shot is up and no good. Rebounded by Pollitt. So nice way to end the end of the first half here. Fort Morgan leading 28-20. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs basketball on B106 and B106.com. With Bob Richardson, this is Brian Nickel getting ready to start the second half of play here at Eaton with the Fort Morgan Mustangs leading 28-20. And also like to remind everybody to receive scoring updates at the end of each quarter. Follow us on Twitter at B106 and turn on mobile notifications. Mustangs just need to come out and continue playing like they have and don't fall into the what Weld Central's trying to get them to do. Weld Central's trying to get physical with them, and Fort Morgan needs to stay out of that, run their offense.
In the first half, they started to get sloppy. Coach Unrein called the timeout. It seemed to calm the guys down, and then they started playing some good, smart basketball.
So now Weld Central to start up the second half with the ball. With Lang, gets it out to Blackston. Blackston being guarded by Eric Kimball. Now to Maniscalco. Now to Lang. Lang backs it out the three-point line. Tate Kimball guarding him. Now to Galligan again. Galligan loses control of it. And call him for a travel. So there's the first turnover of the second half committed by Weld Central. So now Tate Kimball brings the ball up court, gets it across half court, gets it over to Eric. Kimball out to Joey Snyder. Snyder out to Wes Anderson. Wes Anderson gets it to Tony Swetzik. Swetzik being guarded by Lang. Tony picks up his dribble, gives it out to Tate Kimball. Kimball tries to get it into Eric Kimball, but there's going to be a kick by Chris Quinn of the Rebels. So that'll be ball out of bounds to the Mustangs. Gets it into Joey Snyder. Snyder to Swetzik out on the high right wing. Now over to Tate Kimball. Now a three by Eric Kimball from the left corner. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Mr. Kimball.
It's a nice way to start the third period.
Fort Morgan up now 11, 31-20. So now Lang across half court gets it over to Quinn. They're trying to get it inside. They're going to get it into Maniscalco. His shot is up and in for Maniscalco. So his first two of the second half, Maniscalco is a 6'5 junior, so he'll be back around for another year.
It's their leading scorer, so they need to work it inside.
Schneider with a nice pass underneath. Tate Kimball tries to go up with the shot, and it is blocked and then out of bounds off of Weld Central. So Tony Swetzik to inbounds the ball. He needs to go over to the referee, though. So Tony Swetzik to inbounds. Still looks. Now gets it into Tate. Back to Tony. Tony for a three from the right corner. Up and good for Tony Swetzik. So 6 quick points here for the Mustangs. 34-22 for the Mustangs with 6:15 to go in the third period. Lane gets it out to Maniscalco. Now over to Galligan. Galligan at the free throw line. Dribbles once now to Blackston. Blackston picks up his dribble. Now they're going to call a blocking foul. I think that's going to go on Eric Kimball.
It does. That'll be number 3 for Mr. Kimball.
I believe that's who it was on. He tried to get around him. So 3 on number 33. Weld Central inbounds to the left of their basket. Gets it into Galligan. Right corner now into Maniscalco. Maniscalco up and good with his 2 points at the basket.
He just backed Anderson down and just took a nice little easy shot inside.
So 34-24. Now Anderson with the ball, but he loses it. Blackston takes control of it, gets it across half court. Blackston now gets it to Galligan. Galligan with a two-pointer there from the left side. So his first 7 points on the night for Galligan. 34-26. Now Wes Anderson down from three-point line. Left corner gets to Swetzik. Swetzik for a three and off the rim and no good. Rebounded to Joey Schneider. Schneider's shot rolls around and in. So 6 points on the night for Schneider. Back to a 10-point lead for the Mustangs. Lang now down the lane. Shoots it back out to Maniscalco, and they call him for a travel. I don't understand some of these, even if it's against Weld Central, I don't understand where they're coming up with these traveling calls, but we'll take it. So Fort Morgan with possession now, up 10 with 4:58 to go in the third period. TJ Bauer. Bauer underneath to Anderson. Anderson tries to go up with it, but they're going to call a foul as he loses control of it, and that's going to go on Blackston. That's only his first. first team foul. One team foul apiece on the teams in the second half. Now into Tate Kimball. Kimball back to Swetzik. Swetzik to Anderson. Anderson trying to go up with it against Maniscalco, and he passes it out back over to Anderson. Anderson drives down the lane, up and no good. Then they're going to call an offensive foul after the play on Anderson.
That'll be 3 on Anderson. Looks like Weimer's going to come in for Anderson.
Weimer will be into the game for Anderson. So Fort Morgan leading 36-26. 2 team fouls on Fort Morgan, 1 team foul on the Weld Central Rebels. Now Lang brings the ball up, gets it over to Blackston out on the left wing. Now Maniscalco at the high post gets it inside, kicked back out. Now it's going to go over to the right corner for Lang, and they're going to call a push foul on the Fort Morgan Mustangs on Tate Kimball.
It's going to be Tate's first foul of the game.
So now Lang to inbound from the baseline. Gets it out here to Blackston. Blackston for a 3. No good. Rebounded by Joy Schneider. Schneider to Tate Kimball. Tate Kimball gets it down court to Tony Swetzik. Swetzik to Joy Schneider. They're going to call Schneider. They just will quit that because they're not going to give him anything. They're going to call that a travel every night. Every time. They just as well either shoot it or pass it because they're going to call that a travel every time.
It must be the head bob that gets them because their feet are not moving.
So Weld Central, Lang with it in the front court. Oh, nice. Oh, that's a double dribble by Joy Schneider. Nice steal there, but dribbled it once, picked it up, dribbled it again.
I think he saw money before he got control of the ball.
So Lang now with it, being guarded by Tate Kimball. Lang keeps the dribble alive over on the left wing, now picks it up. And now Pippin with it. Pippin being guarded by Joy Schneider, and they're going to call Schneider for a push. Some of these things, some of the little bitty stuff that they call and some of the bigger stuff that just goes right over these guys' heads. So,
yeah, it looked just like good defense. Just looked like he had position. There wasn't much body contact for that foul.
So now Blackston inbounds. Still looking, gets it into Pippin. Shot by Maniscalco is up and good from the left wing. So that's 6 points in the second half for Maniscalco. 8-point lead for the Mustangs, 36-28 with 3:28 to go. Tony Swetzik with the ball gets to Joy Schneider. Schneider back out to Tate Kimball over on the right wing. Now to TJ Bauer. Bauer back to Swetzik. Swetzik gets it to Schneider, Now over to TJ Bauer on the right wing. Going to be taken away by Blackston, but there's going to be a foul. Oh, now they're going to call a foul on TJ Bauer up high. I don't know if they're going to call anything after that. I know TJ is going to have at least one. We'll see if they call anything further. I think they're just going to talk to him at the moment and not call anything, I believe.
They're going to call it out on the side, and they're going to say that it was just a continuation of the play.
So TJ with his second. So 36-28 with 3:05 to go. Henry Weimer and Tate Kimball come out. Tola Walio and Eric Kimball come back into the game. So Blackston tries to drive the baseline, being guarded by, well, that was a walk. That was the true walk on that one. He had his bags packed on that one, and he was headed out.
He was checking in at DIA Airport right there.
Man.
He was on his way.
So another turnover by Weld Central at 2:51 to go in the third period. Joy Schneider over to Swetzik. Swetzik for a long three off the rim and no good. And out of bounds to Weld Central. So Tony they need to work it around a little bit. That was kind of a rush shot there by Tony. Mr. D's Ace Farm and Home Center for all your farm and ranch supplies, including Purina feeds and everything. Stop by any of the Ace stores in Fort Morgan, Sterling, and their newest location at 122 Custer Street in Brush. So now Maniscalco with it at the right baseline. They're going to call another one on Schneider, and that's going to be 4 on Schneider. Now Weimer to come back in. I don't know if they're calling a hand check on his hip or...
I don't get what these refs are calling a big foul where there's bodies on the floor. They're not calling anything. And, you know, if they're playing patty cake, it's like there's fouls called all over the place. So
now back out to Quinn for a 3, and that is good. So Quinn was 8 points on the night. That cuts the lead to 5, 36-31. Now TJ Bauer with a 3 up and no good. Eric Kimball, his shot is hacked and no foul called. They finally get a call on the rebound putback. These refs have just let Weld Central just get away with anything that they're wanting to do.
Yeah, that was not.
So Henry Weimer to the line to shoot 2. And that foul was on, trying to see who they called that. They called that on 22, Arnouche, and that is just his first. 6 team fouls on the Mustangs, 2 for Weld Central here in the third period. Shot rattles in for Weimer, so that's 3 free throws for him tonight. That's 5 points on the night for Weimer. That one is also good. So back up to a 7-point lead for the Fort Morgan Mustangs. And another thing, these two teams are going to meet 2 more times this year in league play, so this ought to be interesting as the season goes on. So Maniscalco out high with the ball. Gets it over to Blackston. Blackston in the lane. Now back out to Quinn. His shot is up and no good. Rebounded by Tony Slethy. He's grabbed on the arm. No foul called. So Tony Slethy to Tola. Tola Wallio goes up with it. And nice shot by Tola. Nice drive on the baseline by Tola.
And no foul call, and body got thrown to the floor on that call. On that possession.
So back up by 9 in favor of the Mustangs. Now Maniscalco with a 3 and no good, and they're going to call a foul on Portman. Did they call? Oh, they called that on Blackston. That's 2 on him.
Looks like he pushed Bauer out of the way, or Wallio, because they're both side by side. Looks like he shoved them both out of the way to get the rebound.
So Tate Kimball now into the game for Tony Swetzig. So we have Henry Weimer, Tola Wallio, TJ Bauer, Nate Kimball, and Eric Kimball on the floor for the Mustangs. Get it into Tate Kimball. He's being guarded by Quinn. Tate gets it cross court. Now gets it over to Kimball. Back to Tate. Tate over to TJ Bauer on the right wing, and now a little shot up by Weimer, up and no good. But rebounded by Eric Kimball into the, it was a save by Kimball to Weld Central though. Now Blackston with the ball. Blackston shot up and no good. Rebounded to Weld Central again. His shot no good, but finally taken by Tola. And now TJ, it should have been off of, yes, it was off of Weld Central. So Fort Morgan continues with possession with 43.9 seconds to go. Fort Morgan up by 9, 40-31. Henry Weimer out, Wes Anderson back in here at the end of the third period.
Mustangs need to keep up the pressure.
So now Tola with it over to TJ. Left wing, Anderson, there's going to be a foul now, I believe, on Maniscalco. That will only be his second.
That was a nice look pass inside, though. It was a good choice.
So TJ to inbound the ball to the left of their basket. Gets it into Anderson. Anderson finally controls it. Taken away, but now that should have been a kick. We have 2 guys down on the floor. Did they collide?
They collided head-to-head for Weld Central. 2 of their players are both down over on the south corner there. That was a bad collision, face-to-face. I hope they're both all right.
So we have 31.5 seconds to go in the third period. I think we'll go ahead and take a 30-second timeout here on B106 and B106.com. Okay, back at Eaton High School here where the Fort Morgan Mustangs lead 40-31. We're coming back from a timeout. Two of the Weld Central Rebels, Arnush and Blackston, collided over on the far sideline. Hit heads, did something there, but they were
A little slow coming off the court here. They're still trying to collect their thoughts. That was a pretty good collision. Both guys going after the ball, fighting hard. But glad to see that they got up under their own power and walked off.
So Fort Morgan will inbound the ball. Far baseline. No, they're talking here. Anderson and Lang. I'm not sure what's going on there. I hadn't seen anything going on between those two earlier. So back to the game here. 31.5 seconds to go. Fort Morgan up 40-31 here in the third period. TJ Anderson needs to get the ball in, gets it in to Tate Kimball. Kimball, now Tola has it. Tola back to Tate with 26 seconds to go. Tate drives it down the lane. His shot up and no good, but he is fouled on the shot. So nice drive there by Tate. Let's see if that goes against Maniscalco.
That'll be his third if he gets it.
That'll be 3 on him. So now Tate to the line to shoot 2. So he needs to make good on these free throws. First shot is up and no good.
He tried to keep going, driving inside and going against Maniscalco, just because he's their only defender inside. Get him a little more
in and out. Misses both of those. Weld Central with the rebound with 15 seconds to go in the third period. Galligan with the ball out at the high post. Now over to Quinn. Quinn throws his. I guess Anderson must have hit it. He acted like he did. So 6.8 seconds to go. Pass underneath to Maniscalco was knocked away by Anderson. So they get the ball inbounds with Pippin. Called the basket is good. And called a foul on Tola.
That's his first of the game.
So Pippin with his first 2 of the second half. That's only 4 points on the afternoon for him. 40-33 with 4 seconds to go in the third period. In favor of the Mustangs, that shot up and good by Pippin. So now Fort Morgan with the ball in. 2-1. Tate Kimball off and no good. Little runner there. So at the end of the third period, the Fort Morgan Mustangs lead Weld Central Rebels 40-34 on B106 and B106.com. Along with Bob Richardson, this is Brian Nickel. Start of the fourth period, Fort Morgan leading 40-34 over the Weld Central Rebels. Fort Morgan to inbounds, gets the ball into Tate Kimball. Tate Kimball to Joy Schneider, a little left hook in the right hook in the lane, but gets his own rebound. So nice follow there by Schneider. So Fort Morgan up 8, 42-34. Keaton Pippin keeping the dribble alive. Now gets it out to Lang. Lang to Maniscalco. Now they try to get it in underneath and take. I'm not sure what's happening right now. There's a scrum down there, and there's going to be a jump ball called. And that will go to Weld Central. 17 fouls on Fort Morgan, 5 on Weld Central. Get it into Quinn. Quinn over to Lang. They call him for a travel.
I didn't see that travel either, but they're maybe either seeing something down there on the floor that we're not seeing from up here.
So Fort Morgan with possession now. Tate Kimball over to Eric Kimball. Eric Kimball out to Tate. Out on the... Now to Joey Schneider on the left wing. He's called for a travel. I'm confused, but apparently the refs are too. But
well, maybe he's just making up for that call on Weld Central that he just called. I haven't seen a travel yet. Well, except for one, but he was going to the airport for that one.
Yeah, he was actually going on that one. So now Weld Central with the ball. 7 minutes to go in the fourth period. 42-34 in favor of Fort Morgan. Blackston back into the game. Hands it off to Quinn. Quinn now over to Pippin. Now into Maniscalco. So 2 more for him in the fourth, his first 2 in the fourth period. Tony Swetzik, Derek Kimball. Derek Kimball with a little jumper from the lane, but that's going to be called on Blackston. That will be 3 on him on the shot. So Eric Kimball will go to the line to shoot 2. Central Auto Parts. You want your vehicle and farm equipment to be in top shape, so make sure you take care of them. Purchase the best quality parts and accessories at great prices at your local Napa store. Central Auto Parts in Fort Morgan. First shot up and no good by Eric Kimball. Second shot, much better. Hits the bottom of the net on that one. So Fort Morgan now up by 7, 43-36. Lang with the ball now to Maniscalco, guarded by Anderson. Gets it over into the corner to Quinn. Back to Maniscalco. Going to be underneath. Oh, Quinn was open. Now Blackston with a little runner up and no good. Rebounded to Joey Snyder. Nice rebound there by Snyder. Now to Eric Kimball. Kimball to Tate Kimball. To Joey Snyder. Snyder, now they're going to slow it down a little bit here out to Tony Swetzik. 6:11 to go in the game. Now Eric Kimball stops for a 3. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Eric Kimball.
That was a beautiful just catch, turn, and shoot. For
46-36, 10-point lead. Now the Weld Central Rebels are going to call a timeout, so we'll take one with them. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs basketball on B106 and B106.com. Back at Eaton High School with Bob Richardson. This is Brian Nickel in Game 3 for the Fort Morgan Mustangs this week in the Northern Colorado Roundball Classic, where they are 2-0 so far, and leading here with 5:58 to go, 46-36 in the fourth period against the Weld Central Rebels. Now Weld Central has possession of the ball right now with Pippin guarded out against Joey Snyder. Nice tight defense by Snyder. That's finally gets it off to Blackston. Blackston guarded by Eric Kimball. Blackston tries to get it underneath, but a nice kick away by Eric Kimball. So that'll be an out of bounds to Weld Central to the right of their basket with Alan Lang to trigger the ball in. Still hasn't got it in yet. That's the longest 5 seconds I've ever seen. Now Quinn with it to Blackston. Blackston drives down the lane. His little runner up and no good. Rebounded to Tate Kimball. Tate Kimball gets it out to Joey Snyder. Snyder to Swetzik. Swetzik to Eric Kimball. Eric Kimball back to Joey Snyder, over to Tate on the right side. To Anderson on the right wing. Now they tried to get it inbounds, but knocked away by Maniscalco. So Fort Morgan to inbounds the ball from the baseline right of their basket. So now Arnouche to come in for Quinn for the Rebels. So 5:10 to go in the game. Fort Morgan still up 10, 46-36. Eric Kimball back to Swetzik. Swetzik's 3 is up and no good off the back of the rim. Off the top of the backboard, rebounded to the, nice takeaway initially by Joey Snyder. Let's see who to give the ball to.
Saying it was off the Mustangs.
Okay, it's off of Joey. Nice hustle. They had him trapped out there and took the ball momentarily. Weld Central now with the ball gets across half court, and that is Lang. Lang gets it out to Pippin. Pippin to Blackston. They're going to try and get it back into Maniscalco again. I can see him trying to work it up, but he's going to call for a travel.
Yeah, he slid on that one.
That would be Alan Lang. He's a 5'9" senior. So Joey Snyder inbounds to Tate Kimball. 4:42 to go in the game. Fort Morgan still up 10, 46-36. Wes Anderson drives to the lane, kicks it back out to Swetzik. Swetzik, nice pass by Tony Swetzik on the give and go to Wes Anderson.
Beautiful assist.
So Anderson with his first 2 of the game. Fort Morgan up 12, 48-36. With Pippin holding the ball out high. Now he gets it over to Lang. Lang's going to drive down the lane. His runner is up and no good. Rebounded to Joey Snyder. Taken by Tate Kimball. Kimball down the right side. He dribbles it. He's going to be called for the carry. They're going to call a foul. That's going to be on Arnouche. Excuse me.
It's going to be 1-on-1.
So this is where they're going to This is where you win and lose a lot of games right here. So 7 team fouls apiece for the teams. Galligan back in for Weld Central. And Alan Lang to take a seat. So now Tate Kimball. Oh, first one is out. So they're going to call out of bounds off of Wes Anderson. So 4:01 to go in the game. Fort Morgan up 12, 48-36. Weld Central brings the ball up court. Blackston has it, keeps the dribble alive. Now it's going to be taken away underneath by Joey Snyder. They tried to get it into Maniscalco, and he takes it away, and now the nice save there by Wes Anderson. Now to Tony Swetzik for a 3 from the right side. Up and good for Tony Swetzik. 12 points on the night for Swetzik. That was a big 3 there. 51-36 now for the Mustangs. Blackston picks his dribble up, gets it out to Maniscalco, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Maniscalco. Nice job there by Eric Kimball to hold his ground.
That's 4 on Maniscalco. Looked like he dipped his shoulder down and just kind of like leaned, put his shoulder down. You put that shoulder down and you're on the drive, you're going to get that offensive foul.
Yeah, so 51-36 with 3:28 to go in the game. Weld Central calls a timeout, so we'll take one with them on B106 and B106.com. Back at Eaton High School with Bob Richardson, this is Brian Nickel with 3:28 to go in the game. Fort Morgan Mustangs up 51-36 over the Weld Central Rebels. Fort Morgan to inbounds at their far end of the court. And now Weld Central with a full court press. They get it to Eric Kimball, back to Joey Snyder. And that pass is going to be out of bounds, so that pressure worked. They need to get the ball. Let's see, they need to get it to TJ. Tate Kimball is not in at the moment. We have TJ Bauer in. So 3:18 to go. Shot up and no good by number 24. That shot up and no good. They're going to give the Weld Central Rebel people are complaining, but if they had wanted to, they could have fouled out Maniscalco on that play right there.
Yeah, they could have. He kind of pushed them out of the way and tried for the rebound.
He was right over their backs. Now Tony Swetzik out and Tate Kimball in. Get it into Wes Anderson, back to Eric Kimball. Kimball to Joey Snyder. Snyder to Anderson. Oh, Snyder to Tate Kimball. Nice stop there. 3 up, 4 Kimball up and no good. Joey Snyder tries to rebound, but taken by Blackston. 2:52 to go. Now to Galligan underneath the basket. Up and good for Galligan. So now it's going to be a turnover by Fort Morgan with the pressure in the backcourt. So 51-38, 2:43 to go. Blackston to inbounds for the Rebels. It's going to be there's going to be a foul on Snyder. And that will be 5 on Joey. I believe that's who it's going to go on. So 2 nights in a row, he has fouled out. So let's see who Coach Unrein decides to bring in tonight. He has a couple of minutes, or not a couple of minutes, but 30 seconds, I believe, to get somebody in. Tony Swetzik will be back in for Joey Snyder. So nice 8 points on the night for Snyder before he fouls out here with 2:42 to go. Maniscalco at the line to see if he's to shoot 2. His first one up and good. It was actually a 1-and-1. His first one is good, so now it's 51-39. 12-point lead for the Mustangs. So Maniscalco with his second shot up and in and then out. Rebounded to Eric Kimball, now up to Tate Kimball. Tate Kimball drives down the right side, gets it out to Tony Swetzik. Tony Swetzik out to Eric Kimball. Eric Kimball holds it, gets it back to Tate out on the high right wing. Now to TJ Bauer. Bauer to Anderson. Anderson gets it back to Tony Swetzik. Swetzik drives it into the lane and then is going to be fouled by Maniscalco. That should be all for him.
That should be it. There should be 5 on. He's lining up like.
If they called that on, I haven't seen who they called it on. Yes, he is out. So there goes the inside game for Maniscalco and the Rebels, with Galligan coming in to replace him. So Tony Svetzik will be at the line to shoot a 1-and-1. 9 team fouls on Weld Central and 8 on Fort Morgan. In and out. Oh, taken away by Eric Kimball. Nice job. Now back out to Tate Kimball.
We need to run some time off the clock here.
2:05 to go. Fort Morgan up 12, 51-39. They're going to call a foul on Arnouche.
That'll be 3 on Arnouche.
City kind of need him, kind of pushed him in the back a little bit, so that'll be 10 now. So Wes Anderson to the line to shoot 2. So nice job here by the Fort Morgan Mustangs here this afternoon on their defense. Weld Central scored 66 points yesterday, and they have yet to score 40. First one up and good for Anderson. 3 points on the night for Wes. With 2:01 to go in the game. Anderson now with shot number 2. Nothing but the bottom of the net on that one also. So 53-39 in favor of the Fort Morgan Mustangs. Under 2 minutes now. Lang with it out high. Now gets it over to Blackston. Blackston for a 3. And that is up and good by Blackston. They're going to have to make sure they get out on him. But so far only 5 on the night for Blackston. So Weld Central now calls a 30-second timeout. B&B Appliance carries a full line of in-stock and ready to be delivered Whirlpool appliances. With the world moving towards more green energy, it's time for you to recycle the old and get in with the new. New appliances, that is, at B&B Appliance. Mr. D's 8th Farm and Home Center for all your farm and ranch supplies, including Purina feeds and everything. Stop by any of the 8 stores in Fort Morgan, Sterling, and the newest location at 122 Custer Street in Brush. Also want to remind everybody to receive scoring updates at the end of each quarter. Follow us on Twitter at B106 and turn on mobile notifications. Now Fort Morgan to inbounds the ball far into the court, and they do get it into Svetzik. Svetzik back to Eric Kimball, back up to Tate Kimball, back to Eric. Now over to Tony Svetzik in the front court. And the ref on the far side calls a travel on Tony. I can't, and Coach Unrein is having a little discussion with the refs, and I don't blame him. Fort Morgan up by 11. 53-42. Now out to Blackston. Eric Kimball on him. Now Blackston tries to drive the lane and does. But shot up and no good. Rebounded to Galligan. Now kind of a scrum underneath. How they pick a foul out of that mess, I have no idea. But it's going to go against the Mustangs. That's going to go on Tate Kimball. Only his second. So Arnouche to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. With 1:24 to go in the game. Fort Morgan up 53-42. Arnouche with his first shot is up and good. So he earns another shot from the free throw line. Equitable Savings and Loan, Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan. With locations in Fort Morgan and Brush, they have the financial solutions for you. So next shot is up and also good for Arnouche. So they've cut this down to a 9-point game with 1:21. So Fort Morgan needs to take care of the ball here. Anderson to Tony Svetzik. Svetzik gets it across half court. Now back out to Eric Kimball with 1:11 to go. Eric Kimball over to T.J. Bauer in the corner. T.J. Bauer to Wes Anderson. And they are going to say out on Weld Central. Ball belongs to the Fort Morgan Mustangs with 1:03 to go. Fort Morgan up 9.
They need to just stay out on the perimeter and pass the ball around, take some time off the clock. They're still trying to work it inside. And let them come and foul you.
Svetzik to get the ball in, does to T.J. T.J. Bauer guarded by Blackston. Now gets it out to Eric Kimball. Eric Kimball to Tate Kimball. Tate Kimball to Anderson. Now we'll see who they call that on, if that's going to be on Galligan. And that will be on Galligan, only his third. 2 shots now for Wes Anderson, who made his last 2, so he needs to continue that mini streak here for the Mustangs. Oh, nice shot there by Wes Anderson. Nice left-handed shot. 10-point lead now for the Mustangs with 54 seconds to go. Wes Anderson now with shot number 2. He has a nice left-handed shot there. Big scorer here in the fourth period for the Mustangs. Up now 11, 55-44. Blackston now picks up his dribble. He gets it back out on the right side. Gets it over to Lang in the corner, and that is up and good for Lang for a 3. So 40.5 seconds to go, 55-47.
Mustangs just lost sight of Lang over there on the left wing, and they just found him, and he just went up for the 3.
So now Fort Morgan, this is where they will win or lose the game here down the stretch, where they'll have to hit free throws, and Wes Anderson has done a nice job. He is 4 of 4 in the fourth period on free throws, also with a 2-point basket. So he has got 6 points just here in the fourth period. That's the points he has for the night. So when they get the opportunity here, they need to take advantage and put the points in here at the free throw line, because you know they're going to be after them. Morgan Community College. Visit MCC online at www.morgancc.edu or stop by the campus for a personal advising session that will get you on the right track and find out what options are available to help you. Imagine your possibilities, believe in yourself, and achieve your goals with MCC. So now Eric Kimball to bring the ball in. Far into the court, 40.5 seconds. Fort Morgan up 55-47. Get it back into Eric Kimball to Tate Kimball. Back. They call a foul on Blackston.
Before on Blackston.
So now Tate, this is where he needs to step up to the line here. He's going to be shooting 2. 10 team fouls on Weld Central, 9 on Fort Morgan. First one up by Tate is good. So the lead stands now at 9, 56-47. Tate Kimball stands at the line, takes a couple of dribbles, eyes the basket, shot up and good. So nice here under pressure here at the end of the game by Tate Kimball, a freshman. 35 seconds to go. Fort Morgan up 10. Blackston's going to try and line up a 3. Tries to drive down the left of the lane, and they're going to call Eric Kimball for a block.
That'd be 4 on Kimball.
I question that, I guess. It looks like he's just scooting along there, and Blackston's basically hooking him, but maybe I'm looking through the eyes of the Fort Morgan Mustangs. But Blackston now to shoot 2. His first shot is up and finally drops in. Only 6 points on the night for Blackston. So shot number 2 up and off the bow. Looks like this first one goes off the back of the rim and then drops in. So 57-49. Tony Swetzik with the ball. Gets it to Tate Kimball. Kimball to Eric Kimball. Back to Eric or to Swetzik. That's going to be a kick with 21.8 seconds to go. Fort Morgan up by 8. 57-49. They get it into Wes Anderson. Anderson to Tony Swetzik. Swetzik, I think that might have been a good call. I think he took a couple of steps.
He took a couple steps before he put it down.
So 18.7 seconds. Turnover to Weld Central. These are little things that they'll be working on that they need to correct so they can close these games out. Fort Morgan up 57-49. Gets it into Blackston. That looked like a walk on that end, but not called. Shot up and no good by Galligan. And they're going to call him. Eric Kimball has the ball. He's rolled on by Galligan, and they call Eric Kimball out of bounds. I don't understand. I just don't understand what they see when it's right in front of them. Now they're going to go try to get it to Arnouche, but shot up and no good by Blackston. Blackston's shot is blocked. Let's see who they call a foul on with 9.2 seconds to go. Call it on Tony. So that's only 3 on Swetzik. Blackston to the line to shoot 2. His first shot is up and good. So 57-50, 7-point lead with 9.2 seconds to go in the game. Blackston now with shot number 2. Shot up and also good. So Quinn comes in for Galligan for Weld Central. Fort Morgan gets the ball into Tate Kimball. Kimball back to Eric Kimball, and the clock is running here. I don't know what down to 3, down to 2, down to 1. And the Fort Morgan Mustangs have come away with a victory here, 3-0 in the tournament this week. They beat the Weld Central Rebels 57-51. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs basketball on B106 and B106.com. Back at Eaton High School with the postgame show brought to you by Buildings by Design. Knowing who you can trust to do a good job is a tough part nowadays. But when you hire Buildings by Design, you can trust you'll get the building you want, when you want it, and at the quality you deserve. Start your build project right. Start with Buildings by Design. So nice win here this afternoon by the Fort Morgan Mustangs, 57-51. We'll go over the scoring. The Fort Morgan Mustangs led at the end of the first quarter, 12-9. They were in the lead at halftime, 28-20. At the end of the third quarter, 40-34. At the end of the game, the final score, 57-51. And scoring for the Weld Central Rebels was Quinn with 8, Blackston with 9, Lang with 3, Arnouche with 4, Tippin with 5, Galligan with 9, and Maniscalco with 13 for their 51. For the Fort Morgan Mustangs, T.J. Bauer had 6, Tola Walio had 2, Swesik with 12, Tate Kimball with 6, Almanza with 2, Schneider with 8, Wes Anderson with 6, Eric Kimball with 9, and Henry Weimer with 6 for the Fort Morgan's total of 57. So nice scoring here in the second half. Go ahead, Bob.
It was very nice. They kept the turnovers to a minimum in the second half, and they out-rebounded the Rebels by 2 with 17-15 for the whole game. I have for rebounding, our leading rebounder today was Schneider with 7. Then we had Anderson with 3. Then we had Eric Kimball, Weimer, Almanza, Tate Kimball, Paulette, Swetzik, Walio, all with 1 apiece. For the leading rebounder for the Rebels was Blackston with 4 and Maniscalco with 4. Then you had Kelligan with 3, Quinn with 2, Anersh with 1, and Wilkinson with 1. For the first half in the turnovers, we had 9. In the second half, we had 7 for a total of 16. And for the Weld Central Rebels, for the first half, they had 6 turnovers, 8 in the second half for a total of 14. And in the rebounds, we had 12 rebounds. The Weld Central Rebels had 12 rebounds. The Mustangs had 9 in the first half. The Mustangs had 8 in the second half, and only held the Weld Central Rebels to 3 rebounds for a total of 17 for the Mustangs against 15 for the Weld Central boys. It looked like a pretty even round out with the our leading scorer was Swetzik, followed up by Schneider, and then we had Eric Kimball. But all players that were on the floor tonight had the points, which is good. They rounded it out, and they were pretty consistent with shot selections, and everybody got a chance to touch the ball.
Yeah, it looked good. They're picking up where they leave off from every game. They keep their offense going. They don't get rattled. And tonight, Tate Kimball, when he needed to get those 2 free throws right there at the end of the game, he got them, and that's going to be big for down the line, especially when you're a freshman like this. The experience he's getting now, he's going to be a phenomenal player by the time he gets to be a senior in high school here.
And from Tuesday night when they started out in this tournament, that full court press really gave him some trouble. With Platte Valley And this afternoon, when they in the second half, when the Weld Central Rebels started doing the full court press when they needed to in the fourth period, the Mustangs handled it very well, and they broke it down and got the ball over. And not very many turnovers compared to Tuesday night on the full court press.
Yeah, Tate Kimball was doing a lot of the, getting the ball up court, but between Tate and Tony, TJ Bauer, all did a nice job ball handling tonight. As far as free throws go for the game, Fort Morgan was 13 of 21 for 62%. The Rebels shot at 50. I believe they were 11 of 21 for 52%. So nice job there by the Fort Morgan Mustangs.
Yeah, I just don't know what the refs were seeing in the travel. Most of the turnovers tonight, I could probably pretty say much for both teams, 90% of them were travel calls for the turnovers. I didn't see a lot of them for both teams, but then again, we're kind of up towards the top of the bleachers and not on the court, so they must be seeing that foot drag just where we're not seeing it.
It's possible. It's a tough job out there, so that's something I'd rather be sitting up here doing what I'm doing than down there reffing a game. So
I'll agree with that. We give credit to the refs; they do have a tough job, and I just want to say congratulations to Coach Unrein and his assistants, Harrison Chisholm, assistant Jeff Moore, and assistant C.W. Scott. This was a good tournament. Way to come out. Hopefully, we could just keep the momentum going into next week, and hopefully for the rest of the year.
Yeah, they go to Berthoud next week for a tournament on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. We will be doing the Saturday game, also the girls' game, I believe, at 11:30, and then the boys' game will be at 1 o'clock next Saturday on the 14th. So be sure to listen next week as the Fort Morgan Mustangs continue on with their season. The sound engineer and producer of Fort Morgan Mustangs basketball has been Christy Creighton. The final score again tonight, the Fort Morgan Mustangs 57, the Weld Central Rebels 51. You've been listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs basketball on B106 and B106.com. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.